We are all doing life, but who knew it could be this funny? Welcome to Doing Life with Maria and Chad.
Thank you so much for listening. You'll be rewarded today on the podcast. Coming up today, what's giving people nightmares? A photo. You haven't seen this photo yet, Maria, but I'm going to show everybody on YouTube that can watch it and also where you can find it on our Twitter. That's coming up on today's podcast. Maria, do you like surprises?
I love surprises.
So you're the one. I don't know that I really like surprises, but I thought I would start today's podcast surprising you and putting you on the spot. I had a conversation with my wife about how long that I've known you, and we've worked together over 4 years now between the radio show and the podcast. But how well do you know me? We're about to find out. That's why. That's why. And you'll get a chance to get back at me, by the way, at this. This is I was watching online. There was a BFF quiz, and it was it was on YouTube. And I'm like, these are great questions that I can ask Maria to see if she knows the answers about me. So first off, I'll give you a softball question. See if you know the answer to this. What is the name of my pet?
You have Juno.
That's right. That's Juno. It's a German short-haired pointer, now over 5 months old. What's the last show I binge watched? And before you answer, I know I've told you.
You guys were binge watching Ozark.
That was a show that we watched, but not the last show. Actually, we talked about it on this podcast, Maria. This is going to prove that neither of us listen to each other, because I know when you ask me questions, I'm not going to know the answer either. The last show I binge watched was Killing Eve.
Yes.
About the Russian assassin. Okay, what about this? What's my favorite type of food? There's many answers that could be right here, but what's my favorite type of food?
Mexican.
Yep, spicy food. Yep, Mexican. We went to Los Dos Molinos on Saturday. So good. What's my sister's name?
Oh, crap. Give me the first initial.
C.
Chris. D. Christy.
Keep on going. You got another C name there?
Carol.
Definitely not. You're close. Carrie.
Carrie.
C-A-R-I. When is...
You don't talk about your sister much, so...
No.
You know.
Her dog just died. I just talked to her the other day. Like, it's been a rough year for dogs. My aunt and uncle's dog had to be put to sleep 2 days ago. When is my birthday?
It is April 21st. April 19th.
This is exactly what I thought.
It's April.
It's April. Yeah. April
17th.
23rd.
Oh, I was close.
So this actually, I think you know this more than the date of my birthday. What is my astrological sign?
Oh my God.
We've talked about this multiple times on the radio show.
You are April. It's not Gemini. It's not Leo. It's not Sagittarius. It's not Capricorn. You are Libra.
Let's go with Taurus on that one. That is my astrological sign. Okay, now
I suck as a friend.
Well, trust me, I know I would do just as bad. I just happened to get you first. What are my parents' names?
Mom and Dad.
Good answer. Do you know either of them? You should know my dad's name. We've talked about it. He's got kind of an odd, not a very normal name.
I have no idea.
Elaine and Hosey.
I don't know if you told me. I remember Hosey, but I don't remember Elaine.
I will stand up for you because doing the morning radio show, everything's kind of a blur because you're just waking up and you're hearing all these things and it goes in one ear and out the other. Does my wife listen to our podcast? Yes or no?
Yes.
She has, but I actually wrote down as an answer no, because we were with some friends over the weekend and they were saying, yeah, I listen to this and this and this on the podcast, and stuff's glazed over, oh, I don't listen to that. So I would say most likely no. What's my go-to karaoke song?
Oh, this one I know. It's Endless Love.
You did worse than I thought. I think, I have two I would have accepted, because I either do Careless Whisper by George Michael and Wham, or I do Just a Gigolo by David Lee Roth. Those are my...
Well, and I want me to say, in my defense, we have never, ever, 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 ever gone karaokeing.
We haven't? I feel like we did it in Mexico or at some kind of a resort or something. We never have?
No, when we were in Cabo for a work trip.
Yeah.
You did get drunk and you did take over the microphone of a street band that was playing.
That sounds about right.
And you didn't know the words to that song, but you tried to sing.
That's right. That was Zach Brown Band. I do remember the song now. I wasn't that drunk. All right. I just didn't know the words. All right, and this is not, only gave you 10 questions, so you can get me back on our next podcast, right? 10 questions about you. What's my coffee order? If I were to order coffee, what would I get?
But you don't really drink coffee because you always drink iced tea. If you do coffee, it's like iced coffee. Iced coffee,
yeah. Iced coffee, or the other thing that I've been doing is... what's the one that, because my wife goes to Starbucks all the time, she gets me a cold brew. Ice, yeah, so basically iced coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're right.
Okay, so I got that one right.
You got that one right. So that's it. There was 10. 1, 2, 3, 6. Yeah, 10 questions. You got 11 of them wrong out of 10. And so if you want, for our next episode of the podcast, if you want to write 10 questions about you, I will promise to get them all wrong as well, just to make you feel better.
I am the worst friend ever. My God, I feel so bad.
Trust me, don't. It's totally fine. You just went on a day trip with your husband because you were sending me pictures. You went up north in Arizona. Tell us about this.
Well, with this whole Corona COVID thing, my husband and I have been just locked up in the house. We're not doing anything. And I worked 7 days straight because I picked up a couple shifts because people were sick at Costco. So Monday of this week was my first day off in over a week or so. And so my husband says, why don't we just go on a day trip, and we're thinking about doing some camping around 4th of July, and let's, scope out, do some recon on some camping spots. Uh-huh. So we loaded up a cooler with some waters and the dog and all that kind of stuff. And we drove up north. And for those of you who know northern Arizona, you can camp right on the rim. So there's a cliff, you can camp on the rim. So that's where we did our recon and found some beautiful campsites. But on our way to our scouting, we stopped at one of my husband's friend's houses just to kind of check on it. He has a house in Pine, Arizona.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this whole trip, the dog's in the back of the car, and she's not used to going on long road trips, and she's just shaking back there, and she can't get comfortable, and she's not laying down, and she's kind of being a pain in the ass, actually.
Yeah.
So when we stop at his friend's house, we let the dog out to run around a little bit. We're like, oh, maybe she has to pee. So she pees and she poops. And after that, she was completely comfortable in the back of the car. So this poor dog, for 2 hours,
holding it.
She probably had to take a dump and didn't want to poop in the car. So she was just shaking and uncomfortable for 2 hours until she pooped.
This is Olive, the swimmer we learned in your pool. She loves to, like, our dog's a sinker, and your dog likes to float right across the water. It's pretty cool to see. I've never seen a dog swim quite like Olive does.
Well, and what's funny is we picked up the poop. We had one of the poop bags, and then we're trying to find a garbage can because we're not going to leave it on our friend's yard. And so we're driving through all these horse properties because we're up in northern Arizona, and I see a big dumpster literally on the side of the road in front of these different houses. And I'm like, oh, there's a dumpster. We'll just put the little bag of poop in the dumpster. And as I go to put the poop in the dumpster, this old man goes, hey, that's not your dumpster. And he starts kind of yelling at us. Yeah. And I'm like, I am so sorry. I didn't realize this was a private dumpster. And then he goes, wait a minute, what do you got there? And I go, well, my dog pooped. It's just a little bag of poop. He goes, oh, sweetheart, you can put that in there. That's okay.
What did he think you had?
Well, I think because these dumpsters are on the side of the road or, the street.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like throw their trash, like they use it as so they don't have to go to the dump or something. You know, they just fill it with their own stuff.
Yeah.
And since I just had this one little bag of poop, he was like, oh, you're fine. But at first he kind of scared me a little bit.
Well, it's funny you say that because when we went camping up there, I don't know, what's it, Memorial Day, whatever it was, around that time, on the way back, all these dumpsters were full because people are dry camping and they have all their camping garbage in their cans and whatever. And I don't think they want to take it back to their house. So they end up trying to find somewhere to dump it on the way. So that's probably what that guy thought.
Oh, totally, totally. And then one more dog story. So again, we haven't taken Olive on these long trips like ever, really. Mm-hmm. And she's 12 years old and we were hungry. And so we're like, we have to find a place that has a patio that's dog friendly where we can go eat. And so we'd find one. This poor dog had no idea what was going on. She's hiding under the table. She's shaking. We gave her water and they had some dog treats and stuff like that. But she was just completely freaked out and shaking. And my husband is like, this is so embarrassing. He was like embarrassed. I'm like, this is new for her. Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah, totally. And how old is Olive again?
She will be 12 in November, I believe.
Can you make that one of the questions on our next podcast, just so I can get that one right? That would be good. I do have a question. You said that you had some filling in at Costco and time off and that sort of stuff coming up. At Costco, there is a big story right now. I don't know if this has hit your Costco location, but have you been dealing with people complaining about the sheet cake rule?
No. What is the sheet cake rule?
So you're going to find out about this when you get to work. Costco has stopped selling half sheet cake and full sheet cakes to prevent large gatherings.
You know, that actually makes sense because I haven't seen a sheet cake in a while.
I guess people.
I mean, usually you can order them,
mm-hmm.
but they also have some that are just in the cooler and you can just take it and decorate it yourself, kind of thing. I haven't seen a sheet cake in months.
I'm reading one report here. Costco has quietly stopped selling the $20 sheet cakes. Like they didn't make a big announcement. Is there such a run on sheet cakes? Are they good? Have you had a sheet cake from Costco? I never have.
I have not, but our cheesecake is amazing. But one thing at Costco too, though, we started back with the samples.
Oh, okay. Is that what kind of things are on sample? What have you seen?
The last thing I saw, and this is like a pretty easy one, though, it was some kind of wrapped chocolate.
Okay.
Like this so it was not like they were baking or making something and handing it out. It was already pre-wrapped.
Not like a jar of peanut butter and everybody sticks their finger in there?
Would that be awesome?
In this environment, I would just stand back and watch. So I promised this earlier, Maria. This is something that can bring you nightmares. I want you to, if you have access there, go on Twitter to our Twitter page, the @MariaandChad on Twitter. And if you're listening or watching on YouTube right now, make sure you go there and follow us. I'm going to have Dan put the picture up that Maria is about to see. This is something that will guarantee nightmares, but it's also pretty cool to see.
Oh my God.
So what you see right there is the golden-crowned flying fox, which is also known as the human-sized bat. It has a wingspan.
It is ginormous.
6-foot wingspan. It's in the Philippines. Let's see. The pure nightmare-sized bat has a snout like a dog. If you could look at the picture there on @MariaandChad on Twitter. And their ears are pointed, unlike normal bats, rounded ears. And the good thing is they don't actually like humans. They like figs and other fruits. So it's, try to get that image out of your head.
Okay, so in the video, I'm kind of tilting my head because the bat is actually hanging upside down. In all honesty, aside from the fact that bats in general kind of have the connotation of being scary.
Yeah.
He's kind of cute.
He looks kind of like a dog. The nose definitely looks like a dog.
Yeah, he's kind of cute. And then his wings are very Batman-like.
Black lab type of face, but and the ears are pointy and no thank you. But yeah, if you're not following us yet on Twitter, do that @MariaandChad. And then also on Instagram at Maria and Chad. And I look forward to getting your questions, Maria, about you on our next podcast.
Yeah, like astrological sign and
whatever you can dream up. I look forward to getting them incorrect.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram at Maria and Chad. You can now listen to every episode on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Pandora, and of course, you can watch on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.